Yeah, hi there. These comments are for SCK, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you have completed my pronunciation post-test, and I'm going to give you some feedback right now.
When two people are talking to each other, they tend to stand a specific distance apart.
Now,
Each person has
you want to say here they tend to stand a specific distance apart. So you didn't really pronounce the word to or the word a. And don't forget the stress on specific. It's on that second syllable, specific. All right.
some invisible boundary around his or her body into each other. People may not come. If someone pierces this boundary, she or he will feel uncomfortable and move away to increase the distance between them.
Now be careful when you're reading. You're like this. If someone pierces this boundary, she or he will feel uncomfortable and move away to increase the distance between them. So when you speak that way in English, you kind of sound like a computer. So you need to put some emotion into your voice there. So I would read it like this. If someone pierces this boundary, she or he will feel uncomfortable and move away to increase the distance between them. So you have to put some emotion into your voice and make sure that you vary your intonation. That makes you sound more natural.
The major exception is family members and other loved ones.
Okay.
This personal distance is not due to body odor or bad breath, but because closeness lends a sense of intimacy that is at odds with the relationship to the another individual.
Okay, let's practice this one more time. So you want to read it naturally. So I want you to practice reading the paragraph with me until you can get more comfortable. You ready? When two people are talking to each other, they tend to stand a specific distance apart. Each person has an invisible boundary around his or her body into which other people may not come. If someone pierces this boundary, she or he will feel uncomfortable and move away to increase the distance between them. The major exception is family members and other loved ones. This personal distance is not due to body odor or bad breath, but because closeness lends a sense of intimacy that is at odds with the relationship to the other individual.
Interestingly, the average personal distance varies from culture to culture. Americans tend to require more personal space than in other cultures. Therefore,
you want to use the word personal space.
if you try to get too close to an American during your conversation, he or she will feel that you are in his face and will try to back away.
Try the word will and will try to back away.
Try to be aware of this, so if the person to whom
I need to help me. Why? I have that in my teeth.
I'll get it out in a minute.
you are speaking back away a little, don't try to close the gap.
Okay. All right, let's go to reading passage 3. So the same comments before is you're reading the average personal distance varies from culture to culture. Americans tend to require more personal space than in other cultures. So you got a long ways to go right now, but you know what? You can do this. It is possible to improve your speaking and pronunciation, and you can do it at my online TOEFL course if you practice. You can do this. You can definitely get better.
Also, try to avoid physical contact while you are speaking, since this may also lead to discomfort. Touching is a bit too intimate for casual acquaintances, so
Not bad.
don't put your arm around his or her shoulder. Don't touch his or her face or hold his or her hand. Shaking hand when you initially meet or part is acceptable, but this is only momentary.
Okay, let's do these together one more time. Okay, you ready? Interestingly, the average personal distance varies from culture to culture. Americans tend to require more personal space than in other cultures. Therefore, if you try to get too close to an American during your conversation, he or she will feel that you're in his face and will try to back away. Try to be aware of this. So, if the person to whom you are speaking backs away a little, do not try to close the gap. Also, try to avoid physical contact while you are speaking, since this may also lead to discomfort. Touching is a bit too intimate for casual acquaintances, so don't put your arm around his or her shoulder. Don't touch his or her face or hold his or her hand. Shaking hands when you initially meet or part is acceptable, but this is only momentary.
My best friend is Youngmi.
Okay, so now you're going to answer these questions here in part B.
This person is really important to me because he always trying to motivate.
He always tries. Don't forget that third person S there. He always tries to motivate me.
Therefore, I get purpose in my life.
I would say, therefore, I have a purpose in life. I would say it that way. So purpose, put stress on the first syllable, and then instead of get, say, therefore, I have a purpose in life.
Maybe after 5 years, I will be working at company.
Nice use of future tense. Now, I wouldn't just say working for a company. I would say working for a company.
A company that I want to apply for a long time ago, which is Samsung Corporation.
Good company.
My favorite season of the year is summer. The reason why I like this season is I can do a lot of leisure activity at the time.
You want to say leisure activities.
For example, surfing, swimming, yacht, and some other sports.
Okay. Now the next thing is, what is your intelligibility score right now, and what does that score mean for this particular class? So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the syllabus for just a second. The syllabus has a link here. There we go. So the pronunciation rubrics. Yeah, right now your speaking skills are low intermediate. So your speaking and pronunciation needs a lot of work. So I think here you have a lot of pauses. When you're trying to tell stories and things, you really don't give a lot of detail for those ideas. So I have to infer from that you have limited vocabulary and limited grammar that prevents you from fully expressing your ideas. So I'm going to put you at a score here. Let's go over here. I'm going to put you at 2.3 out of 7 is your intelligibility score. Now for the purposes of our class, look at pronunciation here. 2.3 means 70. So your grade on the final exam is 70% out of 100. So you got a lot of work. You can do better here. I really think you can improve your pronunciation. There are some specific things that you can do right now, and we don't have to guess about these things. So let's go back to my pronunciation section. This is a second section of my course, SK. So what I recommend here is go through, first of all, go through Speak Clearly lessons number 2 all the way through lesson 24 there. These are all very, very useful for you right now. Now there are some lessons you want to pay more attention to. For example, this one. Speak Clearly lesson number 11. I think that one you can practice more. Speak Clearly lesson number 16 is also important for you. Now as you go through those lessons, SK, read out loud with me as I teach you the information in these videos, and that will be very, very helpful, I think, for your overall pronunciation. Now once you've gone through all those lessons and you feel really good about them, and each lesson has 2 pronunciation exercises that you can post online, I'd recommend you do that. I would post those online so you can begin monitoring your pronunciation. Now, when you get done with that, go through the next series of lessons: syllable division, grammatical word endings, word stress, sentence rhythm, intonation, and thought groups and blending. Again, at the end of each video, there will be some pronunciation exercises that you can post online. Post them. It's good. This is going to be very helpful for you. Now, in addition to going through the pronunciation lessons in my online TOEFL course, you need to speak more English. I get the feeling that it's not just natural for you right now. You haven't been speaking enough English, so it's very difficult to understand what you're saying. Remember, when you get into university classes, your professors are going to put you in groups with other students, and you are going to have to speak. You can't hide from this. So watch movies now, watch TV, listen to the radio, talk to native speakers as much as you can, and I think that's going to be very, very helpful for you. Now, my last suggestion is I'd like you to join. There's a group called Toastmasters. Let's go to the website right now. Toastmasters.org. You see what I'm typing in here? So this is Toastmasters International. So first of all, let's find a location. Now let's say that you live in San Bernardino. And I think this is going to be very helpful for you, because Toastmasters, they will help you improve your speaking and your leadership skills. You talked about working for Samsung, working for a company, and I think as as a worker for a company, you want to work on your leadership skills, and this will be very, very helpful for you. So first of all, you select a country. So you go at United States. You type in a zip code, let's say 92407. This would be a zip code for San Bernardino. let's say you want to meet Saturday, maybe Sunday, maybe AM, maybe PM. Okay, now we're going to put fine. Let's see if there's any clubs here. Yes, there are. So the Juan Pollo Restaurant, 5th Street, San Bernardino, there is a club that matches the time that I put in. My message for you is to join this group. This is very, very helpful. When you show up there, they're going to make you speak. You will meet people in business. You'll network. I think this is going to be a really, really good experience for you. So I'd recommend, in addition to following my other suggestions, really consider joining Toastmasters International and join the group in San Bernardino where you can begin your speaking practice. I think that's going to be very helpful for you. All right. Anyway, thank you very much for doing the assignment, and bye-bye.